Have you ever had one of those brilliant ideas for an app, but then you hit a wall? You know, that thought that says, but wait, I don't know how to code. Well, if that sounds familiar, you're gonna love this. Today, we're diving into the amazing story of Arunava Chakravarti, a guy who built a complete, working AI product with literally zero coding background. Let's jump in.
Everything started with this one question, and really, it's such a powerful question, right? This wasn't just some random thought. It was him directly challenging that old idea that only hardcore developers can bring software to life. This question, right here, is what this whole story is about: empowerment.
You know, for years, Arunava was a lot like most of us, a consumer of ideas. He scrolled through articles about AI, read about all its potential, nod his head and think, yeah, that's cool, and then just move on. But then one day, something clicked. He decided being a passive observer just wasn't cutting it anymore. He made a choice: stop reading, start building. And that, of course, is when everything changed.
Okay, so he's decided he's going to build something. The next big question is, what? Well, the answer was actually right in front of him, born from his decades of experience in program governance. He decided to take on a really stubborn problem that he'd seen again and again in his career. And this is the problem he zeroed in on. He saw so many professionals with incredible ideas, people with deep knowledge of their industry who knew exactly what needed to be fixed, but they were all stuck behind this one giant barrier. They couldn't write the code to make it happen.
So he just completely flipped the script. He asked himself this question: if coding wasn't an issue at all, what would I build? And boom, the answer was clear: recruitment. He'd seen how inefficient and broken resume screening was, and he knew he could build something way better. An idea is one thing, but actually doing it, that's the real test. And this is where the journey gets tough. You know, the biggest hurdle wasn't a technical problem. It was that fear, that feeling of stepping into something completely new, with no idea what you're doing and no safety net.
These words right here just perfectly capture his mindset. He's not a developer. He's never written code that's actually been used in a real product. And yet, he made this declaration: I will build this. It's just pure commitment. All right, so the decision was made. But the path that came next, oh, it was anything but easy. We're talking about a real grind, a cycle of things breaking, him refusing to give up, and just learning everything on the fly. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of what he was up against.
I mean, just look at this list. This is the raw, unfiltered reality of trying to build something with no-code tools for the first time. It was not a walk in the park. Tools would just break. Integrations would fail. The AI would spit out things that made absolutely no sense. It was frustrating, and honestly, the kind of thing that would make a lot of people just quit. But this right here was the turning point. Arunava made a very deliberate choice to change his thinking. Instead of getting stuck in that frustrated loop of, why isn't this working? He started asking, okay, what is this failure teaching me? That simple shift turned every single problem into a lesson. And through all that trial and error, he had this huge aha moment about what AI is really for. It wasn't there to replace his thinking or his expertise. Nope. It was there to be his partner, to tear down those technical walls that used to seem impossible to climb. The AI basically became his co-founder. This chart breaks it down perfectly. It was this amazing partnership. Arunava's job was to be the visionary, to be clear in his thinking, structured in his plan, and patient enough to keep trying. And what did the AI do? It handled the heavy lifting. It wrote the code, it debugged the problems, and it even helped design the system. The human was the architect, and the AI was the builder. So after 70, yes, 70, grueling hours of building, failing, learning, and rebuilding, it all paid off. He had created the AI Recruiter dashboard, a live, working, web-based platform that did exactly what he set out to do.
And don't think this is some simple little app. Oh no, the tool he built is surprisingly powerful. It can validate job descriptions against official U.S. Department of Labor data. It scores resumes on everything from tech skills to soft skills. It even uses natural language processing to analyze interview answers. This is a seriously useful tool that can save HR teams a ton of time.
Now, the app itself is amazing, for sure, but the biggest takeaway from this whole journey was something personal for him. It was about totally shattering that limiting belief in his own mind, that idea that you have to be a tech wizard to create something real and valuable. So here are the 5 big lessons he learned. The key mindset shifts that, honestly, anyone can use. Number 1, your real-world experience, that's your superpower. 2, The barriers are lower, way lower, than they've ever been. 3. Just keep iterating. Forget about getting it perfect on the first try. 4. It all starts with believing you can do it. And finally, number 5, AI rewards people who take action, not just people who dream.
This quote just sums it all up, doesn't it? We're in a whole new world now. You don't need a manager's permission for your idea, and you don't need a developer to execute it. The tools are right there, waiting for you.
Arnav's story is it's incredible proof of what's possible. So the spotlight kind of turns to you now. The challenge is no longer about whether you have the technical skill, it's about whether you have the will to just start.
Seriously, this journey proves that the walls have come down. We are living in a time where access to these tools is just unprecedented. So the question we should be asking ourselves isn't, can I build this anymore?
And that leads us with this final, really powerful question. If one person with zero coding experience can build a whole AI application, what's holding you back from bringing your ideas to life? The only real question left is, what are you still waiting for?
If this story got you as fired up as it got me, I really hope you'll go check out the live application at this link. Now, just remember, this is a proof of concept. It was built with free tools to show what's possible with a no-code approach. It's an amazing example of turning an idea into reality, and I, for one, can't wait to see what you go out and build next.